Jackie Stallone.
Baby!
Here we go. Now, it was back in the day.
Back in the day where she rolled into our studio.
We had her on the show first in person and then in many telephone conversations. She looks wise. You know the lady that was on Who's the Boss? Who was the mom on Who's the Boss? Yeah, the same lady that was on Soap.
Sure.
On a good
Catherine
day.
Hellman?
Yes, Catherine Hellman. On a good day, I imagine if she had hair.
Right.
That's what Jacqueline Stallone might look like.
He's saying there's a chance she might not have any hair?
She's interesting. I recall there was the WI. There was the wig issue.
Well, we weren't sure because she had the turban, but she's got a little sly in her. You can see Sylvester Stallone with she's kind of got that sneer happening, you know, but, well, we had her on over 10 years ago.
Oh, Mike, it was at the other station over 15 years ago, and one of the reasons we had her on was it was when her son had forbid her from doing any publicity, so she was going out.
Frank Stallone.
No, it was the other one.
Frank.
No, Sly.
Sly forbid her?
Yes, it was Sly. Yeah. She was embarrassing Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that's right.
By going on shows and showing what a kook she was.
Well, I'd be interested to know with Jacqueline Stallone what Sly is up to.
One thing that I found out, I've spoken to her or listened to her quite a few times this week, and I'm not able to confirm whether or not she remembers coming on with you guys.
Well, she probably does.
It doesn't matter.
So,
but what's important is that she reads people's butt cheeks.
she does that. Her dogs also are mediums.
And her dog will be predicting the outcome of the presidential election.
Wasn't she involved in wrestling at some point, too?
Beyond being a fan.
I think she had something to do with it. She's been involved in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she will deny this, but there are rumors in the medium world that she's going to start a new infomercial.
An infomercial?
Yeah. She'll deny it, though.
Well, I hope that's true. She's ready for the call on the air?
Yeah, she's ready to receive your call.
She got a website and everything?
She do. She's pretty. Actually, Buzz will probably bring up her picture, JacquelineStallone.com.
1310. Okay.
She doesn't mince words, this woman.
No, she do like
I remember correctly.
Crazy psychic, mother of Sly Stallone, Jacqueline Stallone.
And we can see how Sly's doing, too.
Hello?
Yes.
Jackie, hi, it's the Don and Mike show.
Okay, here I am.
There you are. Hello, beautiful.
Hi.
That's whatever. Chicago?
How's it going?
Fine. How's the weather in Chicago?
Well, we're in Washington, D.C.
I'm in Washington, D.C., my hometown. Am I crazy? I just got through all of Chicago.
Oh, you just got done with Chicago? Mike,
Yes.
there's the website, JackieStallone.com.
Wow, that's a great picture of you, Jacqueline.
Was that nice? And does it place? It's me. I mean, it's totally unretouched.
Well, you know, you're not wearing a turban. The last time we saw you, you were very into wearing the...
I was going with a boyfriend who insisted I have a turban, look a little bit weird, look like a psychic all the time. I don't know. What it did is it got him the attention. I know it now.
But look at you with that beautiful head of hair.
Long hair.
I own my own hair.
Wow.
Really?
It has hair you can sit on.
So you never wore a wig?
No. But I had a boyfriend who insisted that you go out looking ostentatious with a great big turban. And one time I didn't feel like combing the hair, so in a pinch you just stick it under a turban and it passes.
There you go. Well, that's a nice star power, a nice little website you have.
Isn't it neat?
You ditched that guy, right?
It is nice.
Is there a man in your life now?
Well, certainly. Come on. I married a young neurosurgeon 5 years ago.
You did, and how long
His
is
name is Sylvester.
So his name is Sylvester?
No, he's the same age.
Oh, the same age. As
I don't want
Sly.
anyone old. I'm old myself. I don't want someone with a bad back and thrives on Maya Lantern. Everything hurts. I mean, I want somebody alive.
You know, I must ask you because, you don't ask a lady this question, but I'll ask just to see if you'll answer. May I ask how young you are, Jacqueline?
Look, what a tactful way of saying it.
Thank you.
I'll tell you
Nice.
something. It depends on who's asking. I'll tell you when I want to
Depends.
when I die.
Depends.
They can read the picture. Now, marrying a neurosurgeon, I said, Sylvester, what I'm going to do if he ever finds out how old I really am? I've been lying so many years. He said, this is a good excuse to stay alive. I said, don't let him know that I'm on Social Security. If I get sick, Sylvester, you rush to the hospital, take that damn bracelet off my wrist, put another one on, and pay the bill. I mean, I don't want to blow my end.
You don't? Okay,
No.
so she's not, but it's your prerogative, Jacqueline, of course.
Who's else?
Yes.
Ava, what a sweet...
I'm hurting.
God forbid when the time comes, I'm sure you get a great discount.
Well, when the time comes, I'm sure I won't miss my appointment.
That's very true. JacquelineStallone.com is the website. Before we talk about your dogs and the fact that you can read people's butts.
I know. I'm telling you, since, I don't know, a big spread came out in the newspaper and London, a magazine, and it seems like everyone wants their rear end read. I don't understand it. You know what it is? It's the only part of their anatomy they can't see, and they're not going to ask for a second opinion on it. When you read a palm, you want a second opinion.
Sure.
It's right there under your nose, but the other, like I say, now watch this feature, watch this line on the right side as it makes a change. I can see all these men and women bending over, having their best friend. Do you see this line going this direction or that? Where on your palm you can see it. In the right hand, you can see it changing.
All I know is that if I had my butt read, I would probably get in a tub.
No.
Scrub up, right?
No. I mean, if my butt was real red.
Oh, it was red.
If it was
R-E-D. A red butt joke.
R-E-D, not R-E-A-D.
Jacqueline, when did you start reading?
Third
Oh,
world.
dear God. When did you start reading butts?
I want to tell you something. I used to read palms and fingerprints for the police department in Philadelphia, and they gave me my first printing machine. Would you believe it?
Wow.
Now, then I wanted to take a step further as a psychic and astrologer. I wanted to go and see if the lines verified what the stars said.
How about that?
And then someone said, well, in India, they still use all of this, so body images. I mean, there's no such thing as a MRI in those countries, in Bombay. So I went there, and they take this henna powder, and to this day it's used. They put water, and the women just sit on it, and they put the palm prints and the footprints, and that's exactly what the doctor reads, and it changes. The right cheek, don't forget the left side of your body, and your left hand, your left foot, and your left brain. You've heard of, why did you know you have a left brain, right brain? You have a left hand, palm, and a right palm. Now, you know the left brain is your past, and the right side of your brain is the future, and also your talents and potentials that you brought out into the open. The left hand, you know yourself. Just look at your left hand, what you came into the world with your left foot too. And it doesn't change. The right continues to change as your left changes. Why don't people understand that? But
we are talking about
part of your anatomy or not?
But we're talking about butts, not hands, right?
Well, no, we're going to go on down the body.
Oh.
There we go down to the rear end, which is your left rear end and your right cheek.
Yeah.
You have a dividing line there too, just like a knife chops in two.
Right.
Right.
Foot and a right foot, and it has a footprint. Now, do you know whether you're left brain or right brain? Start walking, both of you, and see which foot goes first.
All right, hold on a second.
Two of you together. Let's see. Both of you take about
I always start walking with my left foot.
I always start with my right foot.
You do.
Yes, I do, Don. I do.
Okay, one's a right brain and one's a left brain.
All right, well, so if you start walking with your left foot, obviously your left brain?
Yeah, your left brain. It means basically, now I know your whole life story already. You basically are a highly secretive person with a lot of hidden talent.
Right or left brain?
Which one are you talking about, Jacqueline?
The left brain, the left foot.
Oh, this is you, Mike.
I'm highly
and
secretive?
The left secret, you're behind.
Yes, absolutely secretive. Yes.
Wait, now hold on. No, wait.
It's a mystery.
Oh, Jesus.
He is a walking enigma.
What do you mean I'm secretive? I'm not secretive.
Well, certainly you're not on TV, but let's say the left brain. What is locked up in that brain in your head? Don't forget, I married a neurosurgeon. And
right.
It's very interesting. It verifies all the things I say and had said for years. He's even left brain.
He's left brain, huh?
Of course, you have the no-brainers, which is very popular today.
Those are the people that hop,
one is the right-brainer. That's the extrovert.
That's me. Hi.
You're the one it's all out on the table, isn't it?
Yes. Well, right now it is. You bet.
Don starts walking with his right
Now, you
foot.
boys are going to start what? Why is it that behind basically reveals your subconscious, your emotions?
Your hygiene?
I don't go into that.
Okay, right.
That's
Sorry.
Mike,
sorry about that.
Mike, shock jock.
Why is it that men and women are all fascinated with behinds? Why? How much time do you spend? If you're walking down the street, you see a great-looking rear end. You don't care what the rest looks like, whether it's a male or female. You want to see.
That's right.
You just want to know more about it. It intrigues you. Why?
I do.
It intrigues you.
All your resources are there.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wait, and you're behind?
I didn't think so.
All your resources are there?
all your emotions, all your talents, all your potentials. People say, well, what about I lose weight? Well, does that change your mind and attitude? Behind is attitude, too. Now, I don't know how you boys are using it.
Or how we're using our behinds?
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to use our behinds to the very best of our ability.
I was born and raised at that. My father, I wish he were alive today. He was in physical fitness. He would love this. He was a trial attorney in Washington. So I grew up in Washington. Are you there?
Yes. Okay. I thought you were going to tell a story about your father.
This is not totally stranded, are you?
No, we're here. We're here.
Okay.
So where does that get into the behind thing?
All right. Why is it you're more fascinated by your behind than what sun signs are you boys?
Don, what sign are you?
I'm a Virgo, ma'am.
Yes, and the other one?
And Mike, this is Mike. I'm a Cancer.
No kidding.
Well, what's that? What does that mean?
Virgo is the one who's all locked up in the left brain.
No, Don's with his right side.
No, Jackie, I'm the right-footed one.
I'll tell you, we used to say, if you want a job done right, hire a Virgo.
Hire a Virgo. That's a compliment. Well, what about a Cancer?
Well, Sylvester's a Cancer. What's wrong with the Cancer? I will say this about Cancer. George Bush is Cancer.
Really?
I'll say
I agree with that.
People, the Cancer sign own more money than any other sign in the zodiac. Complain the most, but have more money.
Yeah, I do complain a lot.
You mentioned your son is a Virgo.
No, I said Cancer.
Son of flies
a Cancer. I'm sorry,
Cancer.
Has your son had a comment on your new side business with the...
And he has known it. He grew up with it. That's how I sent him to college doing this. I didn't just discover this. I have went to school, let's say, since 1950. I have been doing this every day. This is how I sent my son to college.
And how are you getting along with your... How are you getting along?
I pay for my house. I don't have any husband supporting me.
Right. Yeah.
Now I get a doctor who can when I don't need it.
And you're married to a neurosurgeon, right?
Yes.
Discount. How have you been getting along with your famous son, Sylvester?
Always got along. Let's say they're still children to me. You know, I talked to him like I would do yesterday. He was always actually unique. As soon as he'd walk in the house, I'd tell him the crisis of the family, and we'd sit down and go over the crisis of the family. He was the problem solver and always has been. We all live in the same neighborhood.
At what age did you start reading Sylvester's bottom to lead him to the life that he's at now?
Now, look, let's get... Are you getting technical? What are you aiming for? And I'll give it to you in a nutshell.
Okay, what I want to know is you mentioned that...
What age did I know that he had a rear end?
No, did your psychic abilities...
I knew it was there.
Did your psychic abilities, Jacqueline, assist Sylvester in his movie career?
Absolutely.
Okay, tell us how.
Very simple. Every day, these kids knew I did it for a living. So basically, and Sylvester was terrible in school. He was thrown out about 17. We even lived in Washington, D.C. for a while with him, and he was thrown out of all the Catholic schools because he happened to take, the crucifix of his sister's bedroom off and dragged it home. It was about 4 feet long and hid it under the bed, and Sister Rosie calls from Washington, D.C., and Mrs. Stallone, you know where the crucifix is? I said, what do I know about the crucifix? I suggest you look under your bed. So I knew Sylvester was unique then.
And he stole the crucifix, huh?
Yeah. Was thrown out of school at the same time.
Okay.
And then I put him in another Catholic school. You boys, you must be Catholics.
Yeah, we're both Catholics.
We used to be, right.
All right, I put him in the famous St. John's, which you have right on Georgia Avenue.
Right.
So one towards Silver Spring.
Right, good.
And another one tossed him out. Why? He was only 9. It seems as though he was trying to impress a girl who must have been 9 as well.
Right.
And he was trying to show up to get attention, which he still does to this day. So
Yes.
he was in the trash barrel, and fell head first and couldn't get out. So the nuns expelled him, said he was too promiscuous at 9.
What did he do to the trash barrel?
He fell head first into it. You know the big trash cans they have in schoolyards?
Yeah.
He was following a girl and fell into a trash can.
He was trying to make her and, impress, but he would just bending over in the trash can to get something out, and he fell head first. The nuns had to pull him out, and they expelled him. So that was the end of his Catholic education.
Okay.
Jacqueline, what say you about, enough about the butt, your dogs?
Let's move on.
Your dogs are also telepathically linked with you? They're channelers.
So tell us about your dogs. How many do you have, and what are their names?
3, and I never knew it until the past election with George Bush and all the others. And what happened, I've been to the Middle East with his father, who basically is very well respected on foreign politics. I mean, now, I'm not political at all.
Right.
I look at these men and say, if I had to sleep with them in the same bed and look at them for 4 years, who would I tolerate, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm curious.
Election skills.
Let's stop right there. Taking the psychic dogs out of it, who would you sleep with for 4 years?
Yeah, who would you prefer?
George Bush.
George Bush.
Mm-hmm. Married a man that's the same age and looks like him.
Yeah, all right. Okay, good.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. We were just asking, ma'am.
Nothing at all.
Which you choose? You would choose Bush.
Nothing else. So your dogs can predict the election?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Are your dogs there with you, ma'am?
They live with me. They just had a ballet lesson.
What do you?
Ballet lessons every morning. They've been on TV around the world.
Wow!
Don't you remember how much we used to really love just chatting? I remember
one of the greatest radio interviews you'd ever get.
Remember the old days? We'd have to stop to play a record. We don't have to stop to play a record.
No, we can just let Jacqueline talk about everything.
Tell us about the ballet for your dogs.
My dogs, listen, they wear tutus. You're going to see a very steady TV show very soon that you'll see them. The dogs have been asked by a certain TV if they will do a love column. For people will call in, and my dogs will channel the answers on their love life.
That's great.
Well, they do. They've been doing it in Brazil for a long time.
I bet they have.
Of course.
What are your dogs' names, Jacqueline?
Well, did you see the pictures of them? They're triplets.
Oh, is that on the website?
Can you find the
You mean you didn't see them yet?
No. Picture gallery? No, I was...
WJacquelineStallone.com.
No, we've got our guy Buzz
family
on the
album. You see a picture. I know you'll do it now when I tell you. There's a picture of me naked in the bathtub.
That one I found.
Oh, yeah.
See that,
Buzz?
Buzz?
But not the dog.
In just a second, I'm looking for the dogs now. Here we go. I hear it.
You don't show anything, do you? In the bathtub?
There's the doggies.
There's the dog.
What are they, little Chihuahua? What are they, little Dobermans?
A miniature Doberman.
Miniature Dobermans. And what are their names?
There's Hannah, Rachel, and Friday.
Buzz, go to the shot of the bathtub.
That is fetching. That is fetching.
Baby.
That's my Christmas card I sent out.
Now, when was that picture taken?
When was it?
Yes.
When I was a brunette. Obviously, I've since changed my hair to red. What's left?
It is obvious.
Looks like she's about to get a reading.
I had just done a TV show, and they made me up so nice I thought to send to wash my face. Let me have a picture taken of myself, and I thought, what her try to do? So I had someone take a picture of me in the bathtub. Now you're going to wonder who?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you my psychic dogs did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, did you read the other day this dog pulled a gun on somebody and accidentally shot a robber by accident? He really did.
Yeah, I heard that on the news. How about that? Jacqueline?
What?
Your dogs, can you tell us right now?
What?
Jacqueline.
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 It is Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, could you please tell us?
Boys, come on.
Okay, Jacqueline.
Yes, please tell us.
The prediction your dogs have, can you tell us now definitively, less than 3 weeks, who's going to win the election?
Yes, and don't forget, I have more going on this than any psychic astrologer in the world, because 4 years ago, when Bush was running, my dogs flew in on national air and predicted he'd win within 200 votes, and no one believed it in a million years. As a matter of fact, I was a joke. No one will put their career on the line. I'm putting it on the line. I've already sent it on the wires a year ago, so
right.
Nothing new. He will win by 15 points.
Which guy?
Bush.
Bush is going to win again.
Bush will win by 15. Now, which one?
I did Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was just a joke. He said, I'll run for office if Sylvester will run too. I said, listen, Arnold, you're going to run. You're going to get it. Jay Leno, everyone made fun of me. I said, listen here. I said, the dogs said they would, so they won. Jay Leno said, well, I'll send someone over to interview the dogs. I said, the dogs were very insulted. They said, I'm not going to be interviewed.
Your dogs
by email.
So your dogs refused to be on Jay Leno.
Now, you said 15 points. You mean 15%?
15%.
Well, he's going to have a 50. He's going to win by 15%.
I'm going to find out that the last 5 hours are going to really triple
Wow.
that day.
Now, which of your dogs is the predominant one? There are 3 of them, and I think like at the movie
They're triplets.
Minority Report, where you had the 3 precogs.
Is there a top dog?
A top dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any one particular dog that's more psychic than the others?
You know, they're on shows so often, and they've been on Keith Olbermann. Now, you know, they've been live on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
what happens, believe it or not, and Keith, you'll see the show, he's playing it over and over and over because the election suddenly. But they turn their rear end. If they don't like the answer, they don't like your attitude, they just give you their backside.
Really?
Oh, I know. Once again, we're back to the butt again.
Mm-hmm.
Go right back to that again.
Just read them.
We're back to
Yeah.
that. Now, Jacqueline.
Carries a lot of weight.
All right. Well, thank you first for giving us the exclusive, and this is a nationwide show.
Yes, her dogs have predicted that President Bush will win by 15%.
If I may ask you,
They did that 4 years ago and said that he'd win twice and go down in history as a very fine president. Now, I'm not a person, I make a lot of enemies too, because people seem to think as I can change my mind. I refuse to.
Right.
That isn't me. That's the way it is. And I guess if it doesn't come out right, it'll be the first time I'm wrong, and I'll just have to change their diet, that's all.
well, Jacqueline Stallone, we love having you on the show. If we might have you on after the election, especially if you are correct, and Buzz on the computer now has enlarged the photo of you in the bathtub.
I sure have. It's my new wallpaper. Well, that is a fetching photograph, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline,
Did you see Sylvester's website and Frankie's? They follow mine.
Oh, are they linked to yours? We'll make sure. You know what? We'll put that link up on our website as well.
SylvesterStallone.com, FrankStallone.com.
Well, that's wonderful.
I think it's nice.
And Jacqueline, nice having you on the show again.
Nice, too. It's so nice to talk to anyone from Washington, D.C. It's nostalgic.
We love having you on the show. You're always a pleasure.
And much
You know,
love.
the last time I was on the show, a week before Christopher Reeves, he and I were on the show, a TV show there. And listen, we made the predictions there. That show was the Fold Up. It's one of your top night shows. I can't think of the name.
Right.
Lauren Fitzwater, myself, Christopher Reeves, a couple of politicians.
Right.
Right,
Me
Jacqueline.
making predictions for the
Okay,
show,
Jacqueline.
and they were going to close that night. I said, no,
Yes,
you're going
they
to
were.
be something better than ever. And do you know, they've been going for 10 years.
Wow. Hey, that's
We'll see
something.
you.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that something? Jacqueline, it's great talking to you.
Pleasure.
Have a very pleasant weekend, and we hope to talk to you after the election.
And stay in touch.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, JacquelineStallone.com. Yes, that's the
You
website.
keep her on longer. I thought you were going to say something else for her.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love her.
She's the best.
She's very good. I hope
She looks good in that tub, too.
I hope she remembers to clean the trap out of there.
Oh, Rob.
And now you know why Sly Stallone became the star that he is. Mama read his boat when he was a little boy.
Yeah, and you heard the prediction. We'll hold her to that. We'll see what happens.
15%.
50%.
And remember, she got her start in the police department. She told Philadelphia.
How old do you think she is? She's got to be close to 80.
Pushing 80.
I would say that 80 is before her, but I'd say 78's in the rear view mirror.